SLA Video Productions presents from the beautiful Westlake Community Services Center in Westlake, Ohio. It's Westlake Live!
So if you're willing, we can take some questions.
Sure.
Hi.
Hi.
And I like your top.
Oh, thank you.
Goes with the theme of plants. One thing I was going to ask is mulch, can you use mulch for your wood for composting also? Or does it have, I know it comes in different colors. Is that like?
Don't use dyed mulch.
Okay.
I would steer everybody away from mulch that has been dyed for any application. Please don't use dyed mulch if you can help it. I understand there are different reasons why one might choose brown, black, or red mulch. I totally understand, but I would encourage you to use a natural mulch, undyed, and with no additives. So, I don't know why there would be additives in a mulch product, but I could imagine that someplace that exists. So it would be really important that you use a material for your compost pile that is just wood-based.
Okay, and then my last question.
Well, wait, if I can just add to that, on top of the fact that those dyed mulches are toxic for dogs, and there's something in them I can attest to with two dogs that they smell and they want to get their nose and face in it. And I've read that it can be very toxic.
Yeah, sure.
So
Thank
just
you.
another reason not to.
And then coffee filters. I heard that the brown ones you can use in your compost, but not the white ones.
We accept brown and white coffee filters. I
Okay.
understand that they've, in order to make them white, of course, they've been bleached, but they're still acceptable in our piles.
Probably a home compost, you might not want to use them.
I think either way, it's a paper product.
Yeah.
If you are going to put it in your home compost, I would shred it a little bit or tear it up, but it should be.
So
and you could even do that with a shovel.
It gets
you don't
hot
have to do
enough.
it with
Like
your
in the
hands.
beginning, I would only use organic fruits and vegetables, but I did read that it gets hot enough that it will kill
Yeah.
any kind of bacterias that might be.
Present. Thank you. Sure. Thank you.
I'm Susan.
Hi, Susan.
I live in a condo, and we have individual units
Ooh,
that.
Susan, that mic is very sensitive. You have to speak right in
Is
there.
that better?
Yes.
We have like individual units, and the only common wall would be a garage wall. And so I am on the corner, and I have great big flower beds all the way around. And I'd love to do some composting, but I'm not sure whether that would fly.
Sure.
But if you wanted to start a small area, could you use like a blender to break it up a little bit so that it falls apart quicker?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah, so what I would recommend, I would actually recommend to you, Susan, that you get a small tumbler, which is like a plastic barrel-shaped piece of plastic on legs that you would put your food scraps into, and you would put some carbon or some leaves, some shredded paper right into that. And you give it a few turns, and then that material composts over a few months. You definitely would want to chop it up. I wouldn't put it in you could put it in a blender, but I think that's a little more effort than is worth the reward. You can just chop it up with a knife on your cutting board into a bit smaller pieces, so there's more surface area for the carbon to touch and for the microbes to eat. And when you use one of those tumblers, I would recommend starting with a little bit of soil in it already, whether that's some of our soil, some of our bulk compost, or some of the soil out of your garden beds, because that'll sort of inoculate your material with the microorganisms that are going to break it down so that they get a jump start on life. And then it's a closed system, so while which works really well for places like your home that you're describing, where it's a shared condo complex with lots of people and a shared wall, and you need it to be more aesthetically hidden or pleasing. then that's exactly what I would use. And something like that can be found through the Solid Waste District, the Cuyahoga County Solid Waste District website, or on any, you could do a simple Google search and find one that you like the most.
Yeah, and the benefits you'll get, you'll feel so happy when you can put that soil on your garden.
Again, with those tumblers though, and please, of course, we'll take our next question. It's really important that you put plenty of carbon material in there and that you're adding a little bit of moisture as well, because it's a contained system. It's not going to get rained on or anything. You need to add carbon and a little bit of moisture as well.
Hi, my name's Francine.
Hi,
What
Francine.
happens to your end product?
It ends up into we have two end products. We have a commodity compost and we have an organic compost. The organic compost is then taken and blended with our other soil amendments based on the style of soil it's meant to become. And so in these bags, these are our small bags, we have large bags and a bulk product that is available either for filling raised beds, starting seeds with, or growing houseplants with. And then, of course, we also just have a bulk compost available. And then, so that's where it goes, right? It gets put into these bags. Well, where do the bags go? To consumers, potted plant enthusiasts, people who are growing their own garden, people who are growing one tomato plant on their condo porch, right?
So where do you buy this?
These are available online at Tilth Soil, TILTH, tilthsoil.com. They can be picked up at our headquarters in downtown Cleveland, or purchased there's a whole list on the Tilth Soil website of in-store availability for those products, or you can buy them online. And we do work with home gardeners and farmers alike to make sure that they're know about our product and are getting it.
So I believe that's all the questions from the audience.
Great.
We have one more question.
One more
from the
question.
audience.
Great. Just
Are
in
you in
time.
Cuyahoga County only?
Yes, we are in Cuyahoga County only. We have one drop-off location that's in Geauga County at Lowe's Greenhouse and Garden Center out in Bainbridge. But we also service that Heinen's location there in Bainbridge, so it's very close. And then, but for our drop-off program, we do have people that live out in Mentor and also Lorraine that find their way to our drop-off sites, whether it's because they work downtown or they have family in other places where our drop-off sites are located. But our focus is in Cuyahoga County for now. In Summit County, there is Rubber City Reuse. They're a fantastic operation down in Akron. So if anybody's looking for a more southern option or wanted to share with their friends. And then as far as, there's a number of different farms out in Ashtabula County and Geauga County, but I'm not sure that there are other food scrap collection organizations.
Well, we definitely need to get Joanne on it, because now she brings me bags. She's temporarily in an apartment. She brings me bags to put in my compost, which in the summer was really nice.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it.
It's
Sure,
awesome.
Thank you to you all as well. Really wonderful opportunity.
Thanks.